voices from the Tobago Isle, and you listen to the concerns. I listen up. I mean, they might know better, and they will feel the particular unease with the presence of the troops more than probably myself, who, we here in Trinidad, and we kind of far removed. Not so far removed, obviously. It's just a 15-20 minute plane ride, or a couple hours on the boat. So Tobago is home. It's next door. It's across the road, as they say. But we listen up, and I guess we'll tune in and try to make sense of the debate and what's happening there in the sister isle. But as it pertains to fallout from Iran war, yes, they're touching military assets in Oman, in Qatar, in Bahrain. When I went to Bahrain, I remember I saw the military base, a massive base. It's on the highway heading to Manama. And you see this massive spread. And I remember asking the driver, what's this? And he said, that's the U.S. military base. And that's like any other base that's in that particular hot zone would be at risk. I mean, we are far removed. But as I said before, we'll make sense of it together at some point when we open the lines. Government mum on cost of new online travel registration platform. I don't know why it's the big secrecy about the cost. I mean, any taxpayer spend, they will obviously, it will have to come up, and we'll have to know, and I guess best we just know. I applauded the government yesterday for the move. I think it's far and long overdue, and I'm happy the administration were able to finally make it happen and roll it out. But come on, just, let us know the cost. We'll find out eventually anyway. So that story develops on page 6. And the CW boss, the Communication Workers Union Secretary General, Joanne, I think it's Ogier. Well, let me tell you, she fiery. Oh my goodness. Oh, she started pepper them yesterday. She pepper the Minister of Public Utilities, present and past. She pepper Elder, Minister in the Ministry of. She pepper the management of TSTT, but she pepper everybody. She was fiery yesterday. No script, talking from the heart, very passionate about the concerns of the workers. And she did say that, they understand that team building for the executive, it's important. I think every organization, it's important for the staff to get team builders, but also for the management to go trash out the ideas. But I guess it's all about the optics. In a time where everybody's being told to cut back and hold strain, this transpired. But again, certainly I would stay on the sidelines and observe as it pertains to that development. I mean, I wasn't there. We've just seen the videos, and we have seen via our Guardian report earlier this week some of the information forthcoming. And I guess TSTT, as I mentioned, via the same Guardian newspaper, they would have engaged their legal representation to treat with this matter. But as it pertains to the union, Ms. Joanne is coming in. I mean, we're talking about sharp, she's on it. So we stand by, and we wait to see what develops in that ever-fluid story. Finally, Roger Jacob captured a beautiful picture here. Your March past champions. I'm sure every single youngster who's featured on the front page this morning, you're all smiles, your parents are all smiles, and you're going to get a couple, not just one, you're going to get a couple copies of The Guardian. I would say frame it, because we're seeing the Eastern Girls Government Primary School students celebrate their victory in the March past on day 2 of the Port of Spain and Environs East Zonal Games at the Hazley Crawford Stadium yesterday. Well done to the youngsters at Eastern Girls Government Primary School. We don't take too long with the sport, because that's Ian's forte. He's going to step in from 7:30 till 8 a.m. for the morning shot. And yeah, another fantastic picture, also from Roger Jacob, from the the primary school games. All right, we're looking at all the youngsters there. Port of Spain, that's the Milo Port of Spain and Environs East Zonal Games. And the youngsters running their heart out. Notice at that age to run in the stadium, listen, you're going to run a little heart out, especially if there's a parent, a mom, a dad, a granny, somebody in the stands. You just want to make them so proud, and it's just one of those truly amazing experiences, especially when you're young. If we could look back on our particular sports day. It was one that, at least for me, always excited for, and I used to be real happy when every time it will come around. So, well done. As we go to the brief, some action from the British High Commission's Commonwealth Day. This event was held on Monday in Maraval, and that's members of the Point Fortin Rhythm section. The photo by Vashti Singh. And I'm seeing here where Mohammed reflects on journey from vendor to Pharmacy Board President. That's Sanjay Mohammed, newly elected Pharmacy Board of Trinidad and Tobago President, flanked by his Vice President and his Secretary Treasurer. So well done. And that photo by Ralph Banwari. So with that being said, we take that sharp pivot into the Business Guardian breakdown. Anthony Wilson will join me next to discuss the headline and more. It's Thursday, and we say welcome. See you soon.
Fellas goes to San Fernando. Heading south.
Two Fat Fellas comes to Sapa for 2 nights only. Saturday 14th and Sunday 15th March. 2 nights only.
Two Fat Fellas stars: Cecilia, Penny, Kevon, Zachary, Rachel, and Rory. Tickets available at Dormont Shoe Store along Circular Mall, K-Square Stores, Eastgate Mall, Brentwood Plaza, Athletes by the Park. All Southern Food Basket locations. Sapa box office opens on Friday the 13th and islandetickets.com. For more info, call 683-4843.
Two Fat Fellas, Sapa. 2 nights only.
My man, Andre.
Good night, Anthony.
7 years with the company, and we couldn't do it without Antoine.
Happy birthday, dear Alejandro. Happy birthday to you.
Who's Angelo?
We're like coworkers who don't forget your name.
I'm Angelo.
CG United. Good like that.
Magical Expressions Limited is the largest local importer and distributor of fresh cut stems, offering the widest range of beautiful flowers at the most affordable prices. Call us today at 701-6488 or visit our website to order.
Okay, let me see you, Cherry Hill. Yeah, now take it back. Let me see you rock off, shake off, shake off. Let me see you rock off, rock off. Let me see you kick right. Now step forward, now step back.
Lucozade, bring the energy.
Rock off,
unbeatable
rock
taste,
off.
new look.
Shake off, shake off. Let me see you rock off, rock off.
Some of us like to test limits, but there won't always be second chances. Obey the speed limits. Maybe you don't value your life, but others value theirs. A message from the TTPS.
Well, Anthony Wilson, my colleague, joins me to get into our Business Guardian for today, Thursday. And on the heels of International Women's Day, Anthony, it's such a timely piece, a Peter Christopher story, as we head to the front page. Women's ideas pushing TNT forward. Anthony, great to see you as always. Good morning, and I look forward to all the intimate details.
Morning. Yeah. Morning, Jason. So, yes, this was a conference this week in the wake of International Women's Day on Sunday. And there were a variety of speakers, and Peter chose this topic, this theme, coming out of the speaker.
Mm-hmm. And it starts off by saying the future is female. Is that the case?
Yeah. So actually, this was a panel discussion with 4 or 5 women, and it's interesting that one of the women seemed to have been a town planner and was discussing the making more efficient the collection of data pertaining to planning and permissions and so on. Quite interesting stuff.
Excellent. Well, we look forward. It's on page 5. I employ all our friends looking on to get your copy and read all about it. I'm heading to your question, another very important one. And you're asking this morning on Business Guardian, page 3, Anthony, how should retirees invest their life savings? A very, very valid question.
Yes. Yeah. So I am, in a sense, a retiree. I passed 60 last year, and I'm collecting national insurance pension benefits, and I'm collecting some pensions from my professional work life. And it strikes me that anybody who is in my stage or who is about to get into my stage, which is turning 60 and collecting a pension, you really have to be very, very careful about how you invest your money to ensure that you get a proper return on the funds that you have built up over a lifetime of saving and investing. That, you have to be ultra careful that you do not fritter away the money that you've saved and invested over that period of time, because that's the money that you're going to have to live on. In many instances, the pension that you have earned is simply not enough to fulfill all of your living expenses. So, you have to live off your savings to a large extent, and that is the takeaway from that piece by me this morning.
Indeed, and really fast, I'm seeing on page 6. Is it true the central bank weighs phasing out small denomination coins? So I know the 1 cent is gone, but what about the 5 cent, 10 cent, and dollar? What's going on?
The dollar wine.
Yeah, I mean, I got the 1 cent is gone, right? No more 1 cent.
Yes. And the central bank is giving consideration to phasing out, or the technical word is demonetizing the 5 cent coin. And that is because it costs more to manufacture and deliver a 5 cent coin than the value of the coin itself. And I think the numbers are, the 5 cent coin takes 24 cents to manufacture. So, if you're spending 24 cents to manufacture something that's worth 5 cents, that's not a really...
Well, it's not making sense. It's not making sense.
It doesn't make sense. Yes.
No, that don't make no sense. So the cent is gone, 5 cents, I guess. Well, hey, I mean, small change. Small change.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, Anthony has...
But I think it's important to say that small change adds up. And if you have enough small change, it's worth something. So I think the central bank needs to literally weigh both sides of the issue before coming to a determination as to whether it's going to phase out the 5 cent coin.
But I'm seeing they still want to do public engagement. I mean, it seems like the decision is already made, because if you're telling me it takes 24 cents to make a 5 cent piece, the maths needs the maths, and the maths not mathsing, it's not making any sense. So
yes.
So that's it for the 5 cents. That's a collector's item now. The 1 cent is gone, 5 cents, I guess. Next will be 10 cents.
Yeah.
And ultimately the dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. Anthony, any closing remarks as we wrap things up today?
Well, Jason, I think 2026 has been an extremely newsworthy start of the year. It's astonishing that we're in 3 months, the first 3 months of the year, and we've gone through so much as a global community. So we just have to wait and see what transpires for the rest of March and into the rest of the year. It's for journalists, it's a very fruitful time.
Yeah, it is, and it's of course a serious concern with some of these developments, especially when we look at it through the economic lens and what's happening there in the Middle East and the potential fallout. So I know we'll get a chance probably next week or week after to really dive deeper, because we haven't had a chance to unpack that development just yet. But Anthony, as always, sincere thanks, and have yourself a safe and enjoyable week ahead.
Great. Same to you, Jason. All the best.
All the best. Anthony touching base, and we get ready to head down San Fernando. Not the last train. I suspect there are various ways to get to the city of my birth. I love Sando, and let's hear in real time what's happening and some of the concerns from the business interests. Kiran Singh, he joins me next.
Trinidad and Tobago. Anil wrapping roti at lightning fast speed.
Sandra nailing every order in her hardware.
Lisa, who is in sync with style. There is no buffering at her boutique.
And Dr. Alex filling prescriptions with care. They're all part of the 5,000 strong businesses connected and growing with reliable, high-speed service from Amplia.
Now it's your turn.
Because with Amplia,
you're in good company. Amplia Business.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800 TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800 TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry. Premier insurance coverage for less.
You know, in the past, everyone was treated in a particular way.
Yep.
You have breast cancer, remove the breast, and then go for chemo.
Correct.
You know, and that's not the standard now. Each patient may not need to remove the breast. They may be able to preserve the breast. Some patients may need hormone therapy, some may not. Some may need some additional treatments like chemotherapy or targeted therapy. How would you feel as a woman when someone calls and said the doctor wants to speak to you about your results? Does that lead or triggers a response in you of anxiety?
Attention all listeners, are you ready for the ultimate news experience? Introducing the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian, the nation's first and most subscribed newspaper. We deliver where others can't. With the widest delivery network in TNT, you can have the Guardian delivered right to your doorstep or office every single day. Take advantage of our special annual subscription offer so you can stay on top of the leading stories even when you're on the go. Sign up today. Time is running out. Inquire about our 3-month and 6-month packages as well.
This town isn't as safe as it used to be. You remember that laundromat that burnt down? We offered protection, but they refused.
So you're telling me that if I pay you, you'll protect me from... Gentlemen, I think you've been watching too many cheap American soaps.
Westwood Park, Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. only on CNC3.
This season, Ask the Doctor is at a new time. It's your weekly prescription for trusted medical advice. In the Doctor's Capsule, Dr. Tilak Singh breaks down big health topics clearly and simply. Get a dose of smiles in the Kiddies Capsule as our youngest experts share health tips with heart. Explore the science behind the headlines in Medical Minds, featuring real doctors, real insight, and your questions matter. Join the open forum live and get answers straight from the source. Ask the Doctor, every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on CNC3.
Alejandra, you're still alive. Mrs. Lucia! Mrs. Lucia, come quick, Mr.
Alejandro, my goodness. You're so... Sophia.
Don't miss the gripping drama Cabo. Sundays at 8 p.m. only on CNC3.
Well, Kiran Singh joins me, and it's always a joy to touch base with President Singh, the Greater San Fernando Chamber head, the man who speaks on behalf of the business interests in one of the most vibrant parts of Trinidad, San Fernando. And we have heard within recent time there are some concerns. We have always heard from Kiran in real time when there's an uptick or any particular upheaval in the space. So he's on yet again to give us the latest, and more so let us know in real time, Kiran, if the state of emergency is creating any positive impact and moving the needle in the right direction down south. Kiran, great to see you. Good morning.
Good morning, Jason. Good morning to Trinidad and Tobago. It's always a pleasure to be on your morning show and to give remarks from San Fernando, of course. So, Jason, yes, Jason.
Just going to ask really fast, any confirmation, could you tell us in real time if there is indeed an uptick, any kind of increase in criminal activities, especially with the business interests in South? Because that's what I've been hearing. So I guess you could let me know what's the real deal.
Unfortunately, Jason, we had a robbery this week on Coffee Street and one last week on High Street. And it is unfortunate that the criminal element from when we look at the age bracket, it appears to be the youths who seem to have no fear of the law. And it is frightening that we are in a state of emergency and these guys have no apparent care or concern or fear of the law, that under a state of emergency, the rights of them can be taken away without notice, without regard, and they seem to be taking these brazen chances. And they are using guns, arms and ammunition to commit these robberies.
The Coffee Street and High Street engagement, was that in the day or in the night? Because those are busy. I mean, you don't get busier than Coffee and High Street in San Fernando.
These are main arteries for traffic and pedestrian flow into and out of the city.
These were day robberies or night robberies?
These were daylight. These stores were open.
Oh my goodness.
The employees were threatened. Fortunately, no one was harmed or injured, and there was no loss of life. But the psychological trauma that somebody goes through in a robbery lasts their lifetime. They're not going to forget being faced with a gun and being asked to give up their valuables and the assets of the store taken by the criminals, and they escape on foot. And we have police patrols. It's not that the police aren't present. They can't be everywhere at every time. But we do, of course, continue to call for increased patrols. It creates a certain impact on the society that, yes, we have police on the corner. And with a state of emergency, we expect that the Army will also accompany the police, because during a state of emergency, the Army has the powers to be on the street. They have more assets in terms of vehicles. We always hear about the police do not have enough vehicles to patrol and so on. So let's use the assets of the Army to assist the police in their daily duties, so we don't hear about, the police can't be on every corner, and that's fine. But we have an Army base in Laramie and in South Trinidad. So it's not, the distance is not far. We can certainly access these assets from the defense force to assist the police, and let's get this thing right and put some fear in the criminals, because the small percentage of criminals creating such a fear in not only the business community but the entire society. So, Jason, we have a state of emergency and robbery still going on.
And I'm shocked because, as you mentioned, main arteries, High Street and Coffee Street. So these are foot. This can't be no car getaway. This must be people running off, because I'm thinking, on any given day, at any given time, these areas are congested. It's always traffic. This had to be foot. This was a getaway by foot.
Jason, it was a walk away. They didn't even run away.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So let me ask though, on the business side, is this potentially impacting other businesses? Because again, we've recognized in South, a lot of folks now are going outside of the actual city hub to sometimes the malls and other areas because there is this sense of safety and security there as opposed to the high street and the coffee in these places where you get some of the amazing deals. What's happening with the foot traffic? Are people still moving through, or is it scaring off potential customers?
Well, Jason, it has the potential to, of course, deter the pedestrian flow into downtown San Fernando. We don't have wrecking. The wrecking was stopped in San Fernando going on about 3 years. And but the parking remains a challenge in downtown, not only San Fernando, but in all the urban centers in the country. There's the challenge for parking. The traffic wardens, they do give some leeway. The mayor has also not enforcing the municipal police to issue tickets to the business persons who are parking on the street to do their business. There was a huge concern some time ago that police were issuing tickets to legitimate citizens going about their business, not only on High Street, but St. James Street and the surrounding streets, Pointe-a-Pierre Road and Coffee Street in San Fernando. And they have been working with us to alleviate that problem, because now this situation of robberies, we want to do the CIT, the cash in transit. We want to be able to get to the bank safely, get from the bank to the business place safely. And while you're in the bank, you're safe. But once you step out onto the pavement from the bank, you become a target. And well, we have been working with the police. And what we have been doing with the police since late last year was that the Greater San Fernando Chamber of Commerce has taken upon itself and the members to, at their own expense, to purchase cameras, purchase monitors for the police to have a monitoring room, a surveillance room, in the heart of downtown, to monitor these cameras in real time, so that a crime occurs, they can get to the scene in literally a couple minutes and hopefully apprehend the bandits. So we have been putting cameras through the advice of the police in strategic areas. And of course, the police themselves are doing this with a secure contractor who is trusted by the police, so that we don't endanger the lives further, in that we don't know who are the installers of the CCTV and so on, so that we increase the level of protection that the business community is afforded right now. Because the fact that a couple of guys could walk into a store, rob the store, take valuables, personal valuables from the workers and leave, and there's no
on foot
recourse.
On foot.
It is unfortunate.
You know, and this brings me to the next question, because earlier you said there's no shortage of the patrol. You're seeing the patrols, but what about the foot patrol? Is that presence being felt on every corner? Do you think with that greater foot patrol, if indeed that's the recommendation, because I know you would have also you spoke about the base there in Laramine, and I know the base, you know, right close before the creek, by the M2 road when they come through the back. You think that would be a major deterrent if they were to have foot patrol? What's the situation with the foot patrol, boots on the ground in San Fernando?
Jason, that's just the thing. We have foot patrols, we see them, but we need to increase the amount of foot patrols. I think that is what we need, and that's where the assistance of the Army could come in at this critical juncture, especially as we have the SOE. So there's no excuse that the Army can't be present on the road. This is when we're supposed to see the full force of the Army on the streets, especially the commercial centers of the country, because the youths who are when we look at the statistics, are the ones that are involved in the crime. And this could deter them, because when you see the uniform, they will think twice about committing the crime. We just need to have more police, more armed officers on the streets, the business community cannot afford to be paying private security, armed private security, on a 24/7 basis. This is not even a case where these guys are robbing the stores in the dead of the night and nobody's there and they feel that the camera may not pick them up. And everyone knows that a lot of business places have cameras now, and these guys apparently don't seem to be concerned about the in-store cameras, but the cameras that we are putting outside on the streets.
Yeah.
We are now picking up to the number plate, we can identify a vehicle, so we can pick up the visual image of person. So these guys, they got to be careful because the police will catch them.
Top tier surveillance, and I'm happy to get the report. What's the feedback from your business partners, those who conduct their trade in the night? I'm more talking about the ever-growing entertainment product that is now San Fernando. So many people come to Sando now, to the restaurants, to the pubs, to the watering holes. Any feedback on what's happening in the night?
The nightlife in San Fernando has somewhat decreased over time. Well, the COVID, of course, it started. It happened during the COVID, of course. And it did improve after the COVID, but there's not much improvement in terms of persons being out after sunset. Even business places, we do encourage opening later hours and so on to compete with the malls. But a lot of persons, they prefer to close their doors early and retire. And that is not good for business. The entertainment industry is more after work hours. And there has been a decline in that sales aspect. And one of the ways to change that, again, is ramp up the presence of the armed forces so that people will feel safer. There's always a psychological impact. The society feels safer. The bandits think twice when you see the presence of uniformed officers on the street walk into a business place. And we have that. The municipal police will walk into a store, talk to the store clerks, the business owners. And you see, these bandits, they do their research. They realize that a lot of the store clerks are female, and they feel that they can take advantage of the women folk who are also the majority of shoppers in the country. And the guys will go to the watering hole on the corner and relax and have a cool beverage and so on, while the women go about their shopping and they have the shopping bags and so on. And the police are also aware of the statistics, but we all have to be our neighbor's keeper and mind our business. And if we work together, we can get this thing right and put the fear in the criminals instead of the criminals putting the fear into the law-abiding citizens. And let's change the narrative of this conversation that, crime is increasing. But when we look at the number of persons committing these crimes, it's so small in number compared to the population of the country. Why is it that we allow the criminals to take advantage of us? And we are the ones who make the money. We are the ones that give back to the communities. We are the ones that provide employment. We are the ones that maintain this cohesive, simultaneous relationship with the community. We provide goods and services. And the criminals are taking advantage, and we have to change that.
Well, President Kiran Singh, I want to thank you as always for the time, for giving us the real-time advice, and I hope the powers that be take it to heart and we see some adjustments and improvements in San Fernando. All the best, Kiran.
Jason, before I go, I just want to mention one thing. The death penalty is on the books. Let's reinforce the existing laws that we have. Apart from making the laws more serious for persons brandishing illegal weapons, the increasing penalties, we have the death penalty. Let's get the attorneys and the parliament to reinvestigate how we can enforce this and put the fear back into the criminals, Jason.
Thanks, Kiran. All the best. We'll touch base soon.
Thank you. Trinidad and Tobago, be safe out there.
Kiran Singh from the Greater San Fernando Chamber, touching base. We take the pause and come back with more on this Thursday, the 12th of March, 2026. Police and you next.
Panadol's new formula, 5 times faster than other paracetamol brands. There's no time to waste during special moments. When I need fast pain relief, I choose Panadol Rapid. With its new formula and exclusive technology, it's 5 times faster than other paracetamol, giving me effective pain relief. And it's also gentle on my stomach. Because my greatest gift is giving them special moments.
PRWC, protect your loved ones with a Western Global Security Combo, only $3,000. PS5 console game, $5,400. Unwind with an 85-inch Samsung TV, $9,999. HP 14-inch laptop for $1,900. Amazon 8-inch Fire tablet, $760. HP print scan copy printer, $625. We have speakers, mouse, printers, and lots more. 3 months layaway also available.
We are your one-stop, most convenient, most helpful, most caring community pharmacy. Our pharmaceutical services include dispensing medicines, repeat dispensing, clinical governance. But we also have a fully stocked convenience store featuring our refreshment aisle, grocery lane, personal care products, toys, pet supplies. We are most conveniently located out of the traffic, just 2 minutes off the highway in Heartland Plaza, Endeavour, Chaguanas. Contact us on 220-8705 or 470-5938 and visit us soon.
Trinidad, it's your brother Kirk Franklin. Man, I've been waiting so long to come back. Finally, it's here.
Step into ABC Doors and Windows, where quality meets variety. Discover premium wooden, steel panel, fiberglass, and steel security doors alongside aluminum, UPVC, and steel windows designed for strength and durability. At ABC, we're always a better choice, delivering products built to last and service you can rely on. Visit our showroom at 1 Chanka Trace, El Socorro South, or call 638-7184 to make your dream home a reality.
ESP Russell joins me for the latest installment of Police and You, and coming out of the International Women's Day celebration on Sunday, I think the theme for today is quite timely. It's an impactful one. It's to treat with honoring and respecting women. And I'll let, of course, Officer Russell lead us in that regard. Good morning, and as always, welcome.
Good morning, sir, and good morning to Trinidad and Tobago on behalf of the Commissioner of Police, Deputy Commissioners, Assistant Commissioners, and First and Second Division Officers of the esteemed Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. I want to say it's a pleasure to be here as usual.
That's right. I want to start firstly with the women that you all work alongside before we take it to the wider public. I've seen where, you know, women and men in the TTPS work shoulder to shoulder, whether it's from the administrative level, the investigative level. Sometimes I've seen, less than more, but I've seen ladies on the ground, boots, on the patrol, moving. How's that interaction? What's that chemistry like, that working relationship with your female counterparts?
Well, we have a very good working relationship with our female counterparts, and you know, the women in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has contributed greatly to the success of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. They are the nurturers of the service. They are some of the decision makers, because we have Deputy Commissioner Ms. Suzette Martin, we have Deputy Commissioner Mam George, we have Senior Soup Lancaster Ellis, we have the Public Information Officer, Ms. Joanne, the Head Corpcom, I should say, Ms. Joanne Archie. You know, we have a lot of women in leadership roles throughout the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. We have them at every rank and file of the organization, and they do a wonderful job, and I want to commend them on the job that they have done. and what they would continue to do going forward to ensure that the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is indeed an organization that would be successful and meet its mandates. You know, I will tell you something. When you look at the initiatives, when you look at the police youth clubs, the Hearts and Minds initiatives, there are women police involved, all the community aspects, a lot of the victim witness and support units and stuff like that, you know, for that mothering, that nurturing, that calmness.
Well, I mean, there's clearly something within the service, because every time there's a call for recruits, you see, well, not only a long line as it pertains to the men trying to get in, but lots of women also position themselves. What's the requirement for a woman looking to enter the police service?
Well, same as the men, you know, 5 level passes and a valid driver's permit, you must have English.
Is there a particular height requirement?
You know, looking at the height requirement, it's not so stringent as before. You know, we don't want to discriminate against anybody. It's not that stringent, because I've seen some short women police, but I will tell you something. Height has no bearing or judgment on the kind of work that they do. There are women police that I've seen, whether short or tall, that when it comes to the work, they are very vibrant and productive. So, you know, I think we should look at one's ability to do the job, and you know, not their physical, to say height or whatnot.
You know, there was always this particular, again, I guess this goes from conversations from back in the day that would not have been verified. So you hear that you had to be a certain height, a certain size, your foot had to be flat. No, your foot can't be flat. All these are different things you hear about.
They were indeed requirements, because remember, a long time the police officer had a particular standard and a particular posture. But you know, our society has evolved, and so has the TTPS. You know, so with training, there's a saying that he who is less trained uses more force. So it's about your training, it's about your attitude, your aptitude, your diligence, your discipline. And that is where we are taking things, you know, because somebody could be big and strong and still not perform their jobs to the best of their ability.
Yeah, it's true, you know, strategic work.
And I will tell you something too, when men listen to women speak to them, may want to calm down faster than other men, you know, because men have egos.
So you think the woman's role, especially in an investigation, is, because I mean, obviously when it comes to affecting arrest, I guess treating with other women who might be violent, I mean, that's where the female officers step in. And also, I guess we're speaking here for respect. We're asking also to women to I saw a video out of Arima by the Dial, and I was very, it didn't leave a good feeling in my heart. You know, 2 women scrambling on the ground, and I saw that, and I said probably it's only really a lady, a female officer could probably intervene, or even the community, because people were cheering on. And I guess it brings us to the conversation of honoring, and also not only the TTPS but all of us in the public domain to honor and respect our women.
And you know, and I'm happy that you touched on that, because I want to make a call this morning for the men to honor and respect the women, respect their spaces, respect their boundaries, understand that no means no. Now remember the days where, before we started become accustomed to this craziness in our society that is going on now, any neighborhoods, if men fighting and the adults passing on the women, they would stop. When the women say behave, they would stop. Now we are seeing things where men are abusing women, women are falling victims to gun violence, the abuse, the domestic violence. It's like the men no longer want to care about the women. And I want to tell the men out there that in situations like that, you will face the full brunt of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. We love our women in the service and throughout the country of Trinidad and Tobago, so we would not be taking it lightly.
Let me ask you, as it pertains to regulations, and that's a very important point, I want to thank you for that, but in the case of the woman, probably sure I didn't see the video, but I'll show you eventually. It's so distasteful, I won't want to put it up, but just imagine 2 women fighting in the middle of the Dial, a lady running with a jump kick, they're on the ground dragging. If male officers were to pull up on that particular scene, could they now initiate arrest? Obviously, you have to break it up first, but could they actually put handcuffs? Because we're talking about public disorder. Are male officers allowed to, or they have to hold this train until a female officer is able to come in and actually make the arrest happen?
Good question. They can and will arrest you. They can and they will arrest you. Sometimes we would want to err on the side of caution to avoid allegations made, because of course they're going to make a certain kind of allegations. But
in terms of probably being touched inappropriately.
Right, but you know, what would probably save us if the person is wearing a body cam, one, or two, you know, the public is always filming, because that's how you have the footage. And that would have hit social media as well. And what Trinidad and Tobago have to remember, once it hits social media, it cannot be removed.
When ladies took off her top, you know, so she was literally fighting in her brassiere. I'm telling you, it was distasteful.
And I am saying, no police officer, male or female, will be driving by and see such a fracas going on and not intervene, whether it's male or female, because our first thing is to keep the peace, to detect crime and other infractions of the law.
A search, though, will have to be conducted by a female. But if it's a scenario that is very volatile, if it's a situation where you're not too sure if this person is carrying armed, what happens in that scenario if a female is not around?
Well, we would have to call a member of the public. We would call a member of the public, you know, and it's about justification, you know, before the courts of law. Once the court recognized that you would have acted reasonably,
especially if you felt threatened.
Definitely. Once the court recognized you would have acted, like for instance, one of the victims was stabbed. So it's clear for you to form an opinion or suspicion that that person is in possession of a knife. What are you going to do? Put them in the vehicle and have a knife, and then they stab you while it's driving to the station. So in cases like that, you would call you may choose to call a member of the public. Ma'am, just come and witness this for me, please. And I will tell you something as well on that note. If an officer is making trying to effect an arrest, and he calls on any member of the public, and that member of the public fails to assist that officer, that person would have committed an offense.
Explain that again. So
if a police officer,
you say, Jay, help me here, hold on.
Help me here. And Jay said, Russell,
and I said, no,
forget you.
Okay,
and next day,
and I go my way.
You would have, you have committed an offense.
Yes.
There was a while back where a gentleman was charged for it on Independence Square.
By the Maximan, by PTSD?
Yes.
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 So if the police really under some strain and they call on you, that's where your civic duty will have to kick in.
And within the law, we can call on anyone.
But again, you know, but here the funny thing, right? You know, somebody could now come to the court with medical record and say they have an injury. These things are so ticklish, and I guess that's where the law is a tricky place. But I'm not suggesting for folks to evade or to not intervene, because I think any patriot, any right-thinking citizen will try to assist. But you know, there are people, I'm sure Russell will try to make a brisk escape, you know. You telling me what? Help hold a hand? I'm not going through that?
Yeah.
You see,
especially in this climate too, so we
currency
understand.
Of fear, boy, Russell.
We understand.
The currency of fear, that people so fearful that if indeed they get involved, people might mark them and then they end up in the hot seat.
I understand, but what we would want is that, and you know, we just come out of celebrating International Women's Day, but two women fighting in a arena, one of them topless. I mean, as a mother, as a sister, as a daughter, as an aunt, as a cousin.
And my thing is, where's the society going? Because people are cheering on, laughing, encouraging it. No, one man tried to intervene and then he pulled back, and it's just WWE in the middle of the dial, and I'm saying, how could this be? And we just, so all of a sudden that's entertainment. I'll let you probably have the final say as to how we should really, you know, especially solving disputes, Officer Russell. I think we have a problem there. Like, it seems like the egos get so charged up that people want to treat with a matter right there and don't realize that there are major consequences for that kind of action.
And that is something we want to encourage persons to guard against, because there's a saying I always say, you can die right. You can be in the right and you decide, all right, this person does, and you're ready to brawl because you may feel offended because that person may have offended you first. But in the fracas, you get a bad lash, you fall down. You were right, you know, to defend yourself, but then you get a bad lash and you fall down. And we are asking persons, come to the stations, make a report. We know We understand all the constraints that the system have. Go and get your medical, let us take these statements, but there's a right way and a wrong way to do things, and we cannot embark on doing things on the wrong way and expect the right outcome. You know, we need to change that, you know. And when you look at how the women shape our society and shape the fabric of societies, because we have a woman prime minister, the honorable prime minister, we have an opposition leader that's a female, we have teachers, nurses, doctors, lawyers, you know, the women are out there in society, and we need to show that love, that respect, that honoring of them, not just on Mother's Day, but every day, yeah.
Well, Officer Russell, again, sincere thanks, great advice. And yeah, I mean, I guess we must pick a day to really treat with conflict resolution and how to de-escalate and to walk away and to take your ego. Because again, words, remember, myself and Officer Russell spoke about that off air about it. And it's one I'll expand on, I'm sure, if next week or week after. We have a time check coming up, so let's get to that immediately as we stand by for the 7 a.m. news update. See you soon.
Welcome to Holiday Inn Express and Suites.
Do enjoy, Stacey. You want some coffee?
Can I have a
Perfect then.
That's exactly what we need.
Hi, the pool is this way.
Whatever you're here for, we're here for you. Stay smart at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites.
Time Check, brought to you by the Central Bank and the National Financial Literacy Program.
Good morning, I'm Ryan Beachy with headline news on CNC3 and the TBC radio network. The Homeland Security Minister says bomb threats are the work of idle hands. He was reacting to the report of a bomb on a cargo plane that flew to Miami from Piarco 6 days ago. At the end of the media conference to launch the online arrival and departure platform at his ministry, Minister Alexander said they are being taken very seriously.
We realize what is rolling out here, you know, and intelligence is helping us tremendously. Both local, regional, and international.
Meanwhile, opposition senator and former Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Minister Dr. Amory Brown has pointed to what he believes are emerging cracks within the government's stance on the Middle East conflict. At an opposition press briefing yesterday, he noted that 2 members of Islamic faith currently in government appeared to be distancing themselves from the administration's position supporting the United States and Israel in the war with Iran. Dr. Brown said he had taken note of comments made by Government Senator David Naked and Legal Affairs and Agriculture, Land and Fisheries Minister Saddam Hussein, in which he suggested unease within the government's position. Hussein said he was praying for peace, while Naked indicated he had shared his concerns with the Prime Minister.
I think both of them profess to be of Islamic faith. And it is clear would have experienced some distress at the government's series of media releases which gave explicit and specific support to the ongoing war in Iran and the Middle East.
Energy Minister Dr. Rudal Munilal has confirmed that talks with U.S. energy giant Chevron will take place this Friday, and he reveals another United States company has expressed an interest in the acquisition of the Pointe-a-Pierre refinery. Dr. Munilal confirmed to CNC3 News that discussions with Chevron will center on possible investment in the use of idle energy infrastructure in the country. Dr. Munilal says government hopes the talks could help re-attract Chevron's partnership as this country looks to boost energy investment. He says The discussions follow a recent meeting between Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar and the U.S. Secretary Energy Chris Wright. Regarding the shuttered Point-à-Pierre refinery, Dr. Munilal said the Oilfield Workers Trade Union's Patriotic Energies and Technologies company has also submitted a new proposal for the refinery acquisition. However, there is also American interest.
We are with Chevron now in discussions, as I indicated. We did meet a few days ago with the diplomatic community, and yes, another U.S. entity, which I prefer not to name now, but another U.S. entity has expressed interest in the refinery and those installations at Point-à-Pierre. We are doing the initial preliminary work now by way of correspondence and so on, and then we will move to the next phase, which might be another virtual conference meeting, and then possibly a visit.
Those were your 7 a.m. news headlines. We'll have another news update at 8 a.m. on the TBC Radio Network.
Recession have you down? Don't lose hope. Head on down to Tire Clinic for the recession deals. That's big savings with our road hazard warranty on Dunlop 2021 Falcon tires. Available at Tire Clinic, Cuba, Chaguanas, and Pleasant Park. Tire Clinic, a tire for every need. Call 636-8973 or 636-2958. Gaming Express Limited is a premium importer and retailer of the highest quality brand name electronics. We stock the widest range of PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, Samsung, and Apple devices and accessories. Visit us at Shop 52, Level 2, Gulf City Mall in San Fernando, or contact us by phone or WhatsApp message at 687-7480 or 301-9797 or 798-1280. Like our Facebook and Instagram pages for updates on products and services.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry. Premier insurance coverage for less.
It is this, the second hour on a Feel Good Thursday. Johanse, he joins me, behavioral change consultant, to treat with another important talking point. And today, Johanse is asking, how well do you function? What a question. Johanse, good morning.
Morning, Jason, and morning, everybody viewing. Now, it's not a matter if we just function, right? Because everybody's function, right? But it's how well you function, because if you're not functioning well over time, you wouldn't be able to function anymore. It would be very difficult. And I'm putting it that way because sometimes you ask somebody, well, how are you going? They say, I'm going, right? And most times when somebody say that, it means I just kind of floating by and not really functioning well. How is life? Life, if you understand. And I'm putting it that way because we're talking about mental health. And many times, people put themselves in situations that they're not functioning well, and over time, it could lead to mental degradation.
Yeah, I mean, very important talking point, I guess, is what you surround yourself with, the frequencies that are around you, and so many other so many factors play a part, obviously, career, well, most importantly, family, your community. So we navigating life and balancing so many different things at the same time, and we expect it to function. Because when you come to work, you can't bring any, or at least the hope is that you don't bring the issues from home to the workplace. You don't bring the issues from the workplace to home. You don't bring the issues from a relationship into the sweat or the little engagement. I mean, it's so much of a balancing act, you want to say, and the question is, how well do you function?
And asking yourself that question because as human beings we are multifaceted, plenty things going on. Whether from a child, people just think little children don't have no responsibilities, but a child have things to think about. You might even consider that, right? Because when we were in school, we remember school as being, it has social, you have to please your parents. If you're in other activities, you have to make sure and please. So it always has something going on, no matter what area, what stage you are. So how now your question, how well you function? It is how well first you could come up with what to do. So from the time we open our eyes in the morning, we have a goal. We want to do something, right? So whether it is you brush your teeth, you go in the toilet, you go eat something, wherever it is, you have a thought. And if you break down functioning as task completion, so you want to do something, you come up with what to do, you come up with the method to do it, and then you complete the task. If you could reach there, I would say for the most part that is functioning well.
Do we question parenting style and how we raise our children? Because clearly the person who could function, chances are when you look at the foundation, they were given the opportunity to function and to handle the stories as opposed to just having everything done for them, I would imagine.
Yes, I agree with that because helping a child or even adults, you know, they're saying it's better to teach somebody to fish than give them the fish. That way, they will learn what is their best functioning. Because if I just give you something, then you don't know how to do it. So then when the time comes, you don't know how to function. And also, the other way is that sometimes parents, workplaces, telling people in certain scenarios, telling people it has to be done this way. Sometimes, because it worked for them, it limits that person's development. I'll give an example. A mother with a child I was doing some work with, and she was saying that the child don't like to do chores. So then we come up with a way for the child to do chores. So then he was sweeping, and he realized he always get in trouble sweeping it, and he does find a little piece fall in here. So he came up with a plan. He sweep everything, and then he take the vacuum and do it up. And the mom was angry because she said he taking the easy way out, right? And the argument was he's still sweeping it up. And he using the vacuum, and she said that the easy way, you know, when I was young, I had to figure out how to do it, etc., etc. If you understand where I'm coming from.
No, important, and everybody will have their style and approach to it. But you know, I go back to when we were all dealing with COVID, and a basic function in life is that you have to eat to survive. Nutrition is important every day, breakfast into lunch into dinner. Sometimes just for me, I might just do one heavy something and later in the evening. And many people could not function, they could not cook, they didn't know where to start because life became so convenient. You could buy food, pick up food on the go. Many did not get that home training like we would have received to boil rice, do peas, stew chicken, do a pilau, make a dumpling, basics. There were people who were, like, when I tell you, could not function, had to go to YouTube. Now, thankfully, many learned and they were able to get over the line, but I guess circumstance, would you say, in a way, will force us to have to function?
Yes, and in analyzing how well you function, flexibility is one of those things. Being able to be flexible, being able to adapt to scenarios. Because the point is, if you reach a block where I don't know what to do, if you just give up or you just become withdrawn versus trying to figure it out, that's our next way to tell how well you could function. Right? And I put it that way because life, we cannot predict life. Right? We don't know, literally don't know what's going to happen a minute from now. But if it is, anytime something happens in a way that is unexpected and you completely can't function, then you realize there's something wrong. So what you could start doing now is, if it's with children, giving children the opportunity to learn on their own. You give them guidelines and then see what they do so they can develop their own way of functioning. So it helps them be more resilient when they're growing up. And as adults, I think part of it is facing the reality that we can't control everything. And once you face that fact, when something happens that is out of your control, you wouldn't be angry with it. You wouldn't start to quarrel with the reality versus, you know what, I know that I couldn't control this or this person anyway, so that I could be able to function now.
So you want to say, I want to ask on a personal note, you have had experience living overseas, you have done your studies in the US, you're a man well-traveled. Compared to, when you compare their way of dealing with things, their level of function, just through your own lens and your observations with your community and friends, Are we way better in terms of being able to function as Trinbagonians? Are we more resilient? What's been your observation on a personal note?
You see, that's a difficult question because operating within a culture is very, very dependent, because in a US culture or European culture, right, they have their way to function in their society. For instance, here, I'm going to give an example, like here in Trinidad, healing out somebody, talking to somebody, a stranger, hey, how you going, you know, that is the way we function and that works for us. But in another society, people will think, what you coming to do, man, right? So in that society, they learn to function that way, and that is good for them. Mightn't be as good if we think about it like that. And in Trinidad, we learn that way. So learning how to function is really being able to adapt. So if you go to our next country, you can't just say, well, I am Trinidadian, I accustomed doing this, so I still doing it, and it's out of sync. Just like a foreigner coming here and doing whatever and doing their stuff versus understanding to adapt to our culture.
Profound answer. I didn't even look at it from that angle. It's being able to function is also the ability to be agile, to adapt.
Correct. I understand people say, well, I just can't function here, right?
But what about the man who authentic, who say, you know what, this is me, this is how I function, whether I'm in Baghdad, Islamabad, or Trinidad.
Right. So someone like that also has to understand that you cannot control people's reaction to you. So you could do whatever you want to know, but however the society or the culture react to you can't be vexed at them.
It's true. I guess that's also the flip side of the realness. Because if you're being real, they're being real too with their response to your realness.
Correct.
And you can't upset and figure, well, hey, the thing of them don't like me, and because you know people like they draw for all the different. They will draw for a kind of different card and say, well, you know, these people this way, that way, but you have the adjustments must be made.
Correct. If you go in a country, I just give an example where women have to cover their head. You can't say, well, I'm not doing that. You want to be in the people country, then you have to adapt. Just like how we always know Trinidadians drive, how do they drive in Trinidad? And when they go in the US, I give an example, they learn how to drive based on the US rules. You have to learn, or else you're susceptible to the consequences of you not being adaptable.
So being able to function and being able to function well takes a combination of balancing what's happening in your life, being agile, being able to adapt, being able to figure it out on the go, and a combination of not giving up when you come in front of an invisible wall.
Correct. And what gives you the fortification or the strength to deal with something unexpected is how you do the small functioning. So how well you sleep, how well you eat, how well you do the little things in terms of whether it's exercise, pray, all those things that give you life. If you have a day where you're doing things that drain you, you would never be prepared, or be unhealthily prepared to deal with something unexpected. But if you, I wouldn't say be perfect, but if you, for the most part, master these small functionings, then you'll be prepared for the unexpected things and you could function well there.
I'll let you have the final say you want to say.
Nation, how well you function is dependent on how well you think about the small things. Make sure you have the small things covered, so when the big things come, you'll be able to handle it healthily. Don't make life complicated, because even though life is not easy, it's really not that hard. Thank you for listening.
We give thanks and we try our very best to function every single day here on the Morning Brew from 6 to 8. Of course, today from 7:30, Ian is going to take over the seat for the morning shot. But after the break, we're going to come back with at least my final interview for the morning. We're going to treat with World Consumer Rights Day. Safe products, confident consumers, a very important talking point. And again, from 7:30, Ian Wason for the morning shot.
Dad, it's your brother Kirk Franklin. Man, I've been waiting so long to come back. Finally, it's here.
over Trinidad and Tobago. Anil wrapping roti at lightning fast speed.
Sandra nailing every order in her hardware.
Lisa, who is in sync with style. There is no buffering at her boutique.
And Dr. Alex filling prescriptions with care. They're all part of the 5,000 strong businesses connected and growing with reliable, high-speed service from Amplia.
Now it's your turn.
Because with Amplia,
you're in good company. Amplia Business.
This is more than just music. This is where you find the best of TNT. This is more than just a vibe. This is where Bollywood gets a twist. This is more than just energy. This is Bhangra and indie pop too. This is the mix. This is the life. Lock on or log on now. Sangeet 106.1 FM. This is authentic East Indian radio. This is us.
Attention all listeners, are you ready for the ultimate news experience? Introducing the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian, the nation's first and most subscribed newspaper. We deliver where others can't. With the widest delivery network in TNT, you can have the Guardian delivered right to your doorstep or office every single day. Take advantage of our special annual subscription offer so you can stay on top of the leading stories even when you're on the go. Sign up today. Time is running out. Inquire about our 3-month and 6-month packages as well.
I'm so dizzy. I think I'm gonna be sick.
Oh. Caleb, are you okay? Oh my God, are you all right?
Help! Cal!
Jackson? Hey, what's wrong?
It's Caleb. He's like really...
Where is he now?
It's not far. Come on, I'll show you.
Lead the way.
Be sure to catch Sullivan's Crossing, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. only on CNC3. Get the story first. Want to know what's happening in news, sports, or crime? Get the CNC3 app. As the story breaks, CNC3 is there giving you the story first on your mobile device. Be connected to the most trusted and reliable news source, CNC3. Access your world with just a tap. The CNC3 app. Download it today. Make sure you have yourself a great investment week by viewing The Bourse Report every Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. during CNC3's The Morning Brew. You'll get sound financial advice, whether you're a new or experienced investor, when you view The Bourse Report. CNC3, covering your world.
Consumer Rights Day. I'm always happy for this kind of discussion. It's a learning curve, not only for myself, but for all of us listening and viewing the program, because we don't know it all. And these are the ladies who they engage every single day. They listen to concerns, they resolve issues, and more so, they bring meaningful information to the table. So let me welcome Gemma Ramkisoon and Carla Smith, Gemma Consumer Advocate under the Consumer Affairs Division, and Carla Standards Officer 3. That's TTBS, that's the...
Trinidad and Tobago Bureau of Standards.
Standards, yes. That's the one, Makoya?
Yes.
That's right, that's right. So ladies, obviously it's World Consumer Rights Day, a very important day indeed. What are the do's and don'ts? Because before we got on air, I was giving a particular concern I would have had, and there are certain rules of engagement, but then there are certain moments where we as the customer, the onus and responsibilities on us to do our research.
Yeah. Okay, so as you said, World Consumer Rights Day, which is celebrated every year on March the 15th, which is Sunday. However, the Consumer Affairs Division, we are holding an expo on the 13th, which is tomorrow.
Nice.
Right, and what we use the opportunity for World Consumer Rights Day is to highlight rights of the consumer. We use it, and in order to exercise the rights, we also try to reinforce the responsibilities that these consumers have. Now, there are certain rights that you have, but as you said, there are exemptions as well. Okay, so for example, certain items that you may purchase, even though it is illegal to deny no refund, you know, some items, when you return it, depending on the issue, depending on the items, you may not be entitled to get redress. So, Consumer Affairs, one of our major duties, responsibilities, is to educate and empower customers or consumers, and we inform them of their rights and their responsibilities. So, at the World Consumer Rights, we're going to be able to interact with the consumers and educate you on your rights, as well as inform you of the responsibilities, so you can exercise these rights.
Important indeed. I want to bring Carla in because I recognize the theme, safe products, confident consumers. Could you expand on the importance of that theme?
Well, in order to ensure that a product is safe or fit for purpose, you have to do certain things. The consumer is responsible for reading the labels. So the label gives you a lot of important information like country of origin, active ingredients. It speaks to how to use the product, directions for use, expiry dates. These are all important pieces of information so that you can safely use a product. Another important feature of certain products is a certification mark. Now, this is a mark saying that a qualified laboratory tested this product and it works according to the manufacturer specification. So if you buy products that are certified, that have a certification mark, you are guaranteed that it will work according to the manufacturer's instructions. And
to that point, the products that appear on shelves in certain groceries in a different language, firstly, you know, what's the how it got there in the first place, and what the consumer should do in that particular scenario? Okay. If you clearly can't, you don't know what's, I mean, it's the product saying it's milk, but the language is a whole different language.
Okay, well, first of all, in Trinidad, we are an English-speaking country, so all information given should be in English. I mean, yes, sometimes you may have another language, but it has to have both. You have to be able to do that. So what we urge customers to do when you're making your purchases, you have to be very aware of the product. Now, one of the agencies that will be at the expo is the Anti-Illicit Trade Task Force, which deals with illicit products that are coming into the market. So what we urge customers to do, you need to purchase from reputable organizations and reputable businesses. That's what you need to do. You need to read the labels carefully. If you cannot understand, it's another language, something is wrong.
Yeah.
Right? So that is two things that they need to do. You need to be aware of pricing. Right? Sometimes something might be at an extremely low price than norm. All of that are red flags that you need to look at.
As they always say, if it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true.
So you need to question these things.
Let me bring Carla back in, and Gemma, you could always chime in. You see, electronics, that's a major kind of sore point for a lot of people. You know, they spend big money on a particular item, a lot of times phones.
Yes.
And for some reason, it worked for 2 days, then the battery all of a sudden not working, and you go back to the place and they say, well, that's not the case, and we'll do a repair, and people don't want to repair, they want something new, and we know the back and forth with these electronic items. What's your advice in that regard?
Well, firstly, if you have a consumer complaint, we advise that you contact Consumer Affairs. The Consumer Affairs will then contact the Bureau of Standards to do an investigation into the items, because sometimes people simply want to return products because it doesn't suit their purpose, not because there's something wrong. So a proper investigation has to be done. The Bureau also has a consumer liaison officer where you can call and make reports. So the Bureau also goes out, we do market surveillance, but we also ask that if there's an issue, if you find an issue, you can make a report to us. We have a Facebook page. People have made complaints on the Facebook page, and we have investigated and, you know, dealt with the situation. But as Ms. Ramkisoon was saying, we always advise that you buy quality products, and she gave some examples of looking at the pricing, looking at the quality of the packaging itself. Sometimes you're seeing like the English is off, these are all signs that something may be wrong with that particular product.
Do you protect folks who make purchases in the Facebook marketplace?
Yes, we do take complaints from online purchasing. However, now let me just stress all the facts that we're given here about reading your labels and buying from reputable companies, that applies to online purchasing as well. They doesn't exempt that.
Online also fantastic.
Yeah. But it is very risky because these companies do not have an established location. Now what we do is sometimes if we cannot get suppliers onto the phone, we do site visits. Yeah. If you purchase something online, we cannot visit you. So once they see the number, they may stop taking the calls, especially if they don't want to assist. So that is problematic.
As we wrap things up really fast, how can we find you all online?
Okay, you can like us on Facebook, where we put up a lot of information. We also have a webpage, Consumer Affairs TT. Nice. And also, well, we always urge consumers, you can email us at consumeraffairs@gov.tt.
And standard, and the bureau, same thing?
Yes, go ttbs.org.
Yes.
And the ttbs at ttbs.org.tt.
Fantastic.
That's our email address.
And you said tomorrow is the big engagement.
Yes, let me just stress, we urge you all to come. We're going to have a lot of agencies there, namely, as I said, the Anti-Illicit Trade Task Force, Chemistry, Food and Drugs, as well as the Bureau of Standards, and NP will also be there.
And give me the location again?
It's on the Brian Lara Promenade from 10:30 to 4:30, right opposite Nicholas Tower.
In the heart of the city.
Right, so you can also visit us.
Of course, as always. Ladies, thank you so much and continue the great work.
Thank you.
Hail up the entire team for me. Very, very helpful. I had an issue recently in a call. I was able to get on with the first call, and they were very professional. And they gave me solid advice. So with that, we make way for Ian Wason. He steps into the hot seat for the morning shot, that in-depth look at sport. It's up next.
Live your best life today with Rand Credit Union.
You know, in the past, everyone was treated in a particular way.
Yep.
You have breast cancer, remove the breast, and then go for chemo.
Correct.
You know, and that's not the standard now. Each patient may not need to remove the breast. They may be able to preserve the breast. Some patients may need hormone therapy, some may not. Some may need some additional treatments like chemotherapy or targeted therapy. How would you feel as a woman when someone calls and said the doctor wants to speak to you about your results? Does that lead or triggers a response in you of anxiety?
Magical Expressions Limited is the largest local importer and distributor of fresh cut stems, offering the widest range of beautiful flowers at the most affordable prices. Call us today at 701-6488 or visit our website to order.
Struggling with blood sugar swings, high blood pressure, or stiff joints? Take control with Aja Nutrition's powerful wellness trio. Berberine Plus supports healthy blood sugar. Blood pressure support helps keep your pressure in check. And Joint Aid keeps your joints moving so you can stay active every day. Don't wait. Choose Aja Nutrition for trusted, effective solutions. Available at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Feel better, move better, live better with Aja Nutrition.
Stranded ass. It's your brother, Kirk Franklin. Man, I've been waiting so long to come back. Finally, it's here.
Attention all listeners, are you ready for the ultimate news experience? Introducing the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian, the nation's first and most subscribed newspaper. We deliver where others can't. With the widest delivery network in TNT, you can have the Guardian delivered right to your doorstep or office every single day. Take advantage of our special annual subscription offer so you can stay on top of the leading stories even when you're on the go. Sign up today. Time is running out. Inquire about our 3-month and 6-month packages as well.
Some of us like to test limits, but there won't always be second chances. Obey the speed limits. Maybe you don't value your life, but others value theirs. A message from the TTPS.
Sportsmanship is when an athlete walks off the court and you can't tell if he won or lost because he carries himself with pride either way. This quote is an embodiment of sport, and for me, sport is an embodiment of life. We are where you are.
Do you mind? I'm waiting for someone. What is your problem? Rafe? Oh. I didn't know you owned a motorcycle.
Today is your lucky day. Come on, hop on. There you go.
The road is wide open, there's no one for miles around.
Don't miss the drama Sullivan's Crossing, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. only on CNC3.
This town isn't as safe as it used to be. You remember that laundromat that burnt down? We offered protection, but they refused.
So you're telling me that if I pay you, you'll protect me from... Gentlemen, I think you've been watching too many cheap American soaps.
Westwood Park, Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. only on CNC3.
Make sure you have yourself a great invest week by viewing The Bourse Report every Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. during CNC3's The Morning Brew. You'll get sound financial advice, whether you're a new or experienced investor, when you view The Bourse Report. CNC3, covering your world.
Good morning, and thank you for staying with us this morning. Now it's time for Morning Shot, where we talk sport up to the hour of 8 o'clock. I am Ian Wason. Thank you for staying with us. Now this morning we talk a little bit of cycling, and we talk some schools rugby. But before we go into all of that, let's look at the back page of today's Guardian. Well, Windies, they earn $500,000 for coming fifth in the ICC T20 Cricket World Cup. So we came home, well, the team hasn't reached home yet. And yeah, so they got $0.5 million for earning fifth. Now, what I could say about that is I can't vex when them players go in and play IPL and those other franchise leagues, because certainly for coming fifth in the T20 World Cup, $500,000, one player alone earning that in the IPL, whether you win or you lose. You win, you come champions or not, you're pocketing that kind of money. So I just can't vex with these players when they're running and IPL and this EL and this PL and all kind of things. You can't vex with them. I saw some children here running in the Milo Port of Spain East Zonal Games at the Hazy Crawford, and they're continuing today with the Central Games at the same venue. All the best and congratulations to these children. So these are the future of the athletics in Trinidad and Tobago, so we want to wish them all the best. So let's go into some more schools sport. This time we're running from the track and we're running into the football field, but not the soccer or the association football that we know. We're talking rugby football this morning, schools football, because we have a young man here, Jaheim Walton, and he's heading to the United States on a scholarship, on a rugby scholarship. So we want to meet this young man and the president of the Trinidad and Tobago Schools Rugby Union, is Patrice Devines. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you for having us here this morning.
Thank you for gracing us with your presence. And let's go straight into the topic this morning. Well, congratulations, Jaheim.
Thank you.
You've certainly, this is certainly a big achievement in getting a scholarship to the United States. So tell me about that.
So, in getting a scholarship to the United States, I had to work very hard. There were no shortcuts about it. I had to work blood, sweat, tears, but I couldn't do anything without God. God was the center of everything that I did, and He was with me through all of my journey.
Great, and congratulations. So could you identify what school it is that you are heading to?
I am going to attend St. Thomas University in Miami, Florida. It's a Catholic school. So I'm going to go there, and I'm going to do my best both academically and on the rugby field. I'm going to show them that coming all the way from Trinidad and a small island from the Caribbean, I can do great things.
Great. Well, the United States not really known for rugby. Yes, they are more known for American football. Do you think that you might be persuaded to make that switch from rugby football to American football?
Honestly, I don't think so. I've been persuaded all my life. A lot of people have been telling me, you should try American football. It might be a great fit for you because I'm fast, I'm nimble, all the such. However, rugby have a special place in my heart. It's been there ever since I was a little chap. So I can't really leave it. It can't really leave my heart.
You can't leave. So who you play with? Which club team you play with here? I know you go to Holy Cross College.
Yes, sir.
And but in terms of the club, who do you play with?
I play with Northern RC. That is also where my head coach and national coach do coaching teams. Right? He scouted me since I was a young kid. He saw me when I was young, had a lot of potential, and he told me come to the national program. He trained me up from a young lad, make sure I had anything in place that I need to do, and grew me up to become the fine young man that I am today.
Great, and certainly want to say congratulations to him as well. We want to bring in the president of the Trinidad and Tobago Schools Rugby Union in the conversation, Mr. Veens. Tell me, how big is this achievement? Why is this such a big deal?
To begin with, rugby was not really known, or is kind of dormant in Trinidad and Tobago. So when we have people like Jaheim coming from quite Sandy Grande, because he resides in Sandy Grande, and playing rugby and then getting a scholarship, that's great. That's showing that we are meshing education, academics with sports. And as Jaheim said, he has worked tirelessly. He has achieved so many certificates and other accomplishments through academic and rugby. And we want to show that sports is one of the main, or one of the vehicles can take children